Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is when on your Grindr and then you see the quote or someone says to you, "I'm not into Asians." What do you think about that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I've kind of come across it. No one's ever said it to me personally, but I've come across it maybe a handful of times on different profiles. Um, and but I think I do feel like it's not actually like, even though I haven't seen it that often, that it's maybe more common than we might think. I think that racial preference um, and the sort of implicit racism, the potential for implicit racism behind it, is much. I personally believe it. I think it's more prevalent in the gay community, but also in the wider dating community than I think that Grindr demonstrates. I think it's hidden away, and I think it's something that people don't really like to admit.
Okay, so it's something that kind of is out there, but that we don't really talk about in a way.
Yeah, I think people are scared. I think people are quite scared to talk about it because I think it's not something people personally believe. It's not something people. I don't think it's personally like learned behavior specifically learned behavior. It's something. It's a representation of the wider society, of what it means, of what being of people of color. What does that actually mean? And so people don't want to be so what I'm trying to say is that people don't want to really take responsibility for dealing with that and sort of owning up to
But
it.
who's
I mean,
the people saying it or the people it's happening to?
not the people saying it.
Right.
Maybe the wider community.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody. I don't think every white person or every. I mean, because it's
Goes with ways
yes.
sometimes.
Yeah. I also also don't want to imply that it's only white people, because I think there is a lot of kind of horizontal racism as well, between people of color as well.
Okay. And as like you said, you've never had that actually kind of said to you before.
No, I don't think so.
Right.
I've had people say not my type, but that obviously that could mean a number of things.
Yeah, that could be like,
but
just your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Okay. And I mean, I've had people say that to me before, like purely like I'm not into Asians, and then I kind of I'm so shocked I don't really know what to say because it's kind of, I understand that people do have preferences and there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, I feel like explicitly making it a point and kind of like using it to kind of like, push someone away is a bit, I don't know. There are some sort of like racial kind of like, hey, I'm not into this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like outright hate. It's not at all, but it is kind of like, I guess, insensitive. And it definitely reminds me of myself, and like that perhaps I am kind of a look in this country. Like, I guess in Asia it's different, but here I guess like it makes me realize how kind of like unique or like exotic, and I hate that word, but like how exotic I look, and I kind of know it kind of makes me feel like a bit funny.
Yeah.
But that leads me on to the next thing that we were gonna like talk about, which is like you look exotic. I don't know if you've ever experienced that or words along those lines.
Yeah. I've definitely heard that before. It's a weird one because it's like, I personally don't feel that offended by that phrase. I do definitely feel like sort of, like otherized in a way. It's like I don't look like you, but it's okay. But like I don't look like you. And I don't personally take much, because I guess because it doesn't, again, it's that sort of implicit racism, that sort of microaggression where it's not, it doesn't come from intentional places.
It's almost seen as a compliment. I mean, like people are saying, like, you look exotic, you look beautiful. It's like, you know, the kind of tropical beach kind of a man,
Yeah,
of like a person to date. Something that is unique to them. I guess they see it as a compliment, and the weight of the words, I guess, aren't necessarily there. But yeah.
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 I mean, like, I definitely think, I don't know, I think that it can carry, like what you said about othering.
Yeah.
Like, since you look exotic, you look other,
Yeah.
it kind of makes me feel like, you know, I was found in, like, an Oriental rug store.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, not like all the time,
Yeah.
but it makes me kind of like, it
Yeah.
fetishizes me.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like
Yeah,
I'm kind of
absolutely,
like,
yeah.
you know, something a bit different, something like, you know, I'm not your vanilla ice cream. I'm kind of like the mint chocolate chip or the strawberry on the side.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of that thing of. Also, it kind of makes me feel like I'm not taken seriously as well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe that's me being. I don't know if I'm like taking it to an extreme level there, but
No, I don't think so. I think these things. I think like, yeah. I mean, we all. Yeah, I mean, I think I would feel the same. I think like experiences like, I mean, as someone of I don't know, like a British upbringing, but of mixed race descent. You know, from the majority of my upbringing, I didn't feel very, like, I didn't really connect with my Indian side of things until I reached, you know, kind of recent years. And it is things like that. It is comments like that. It is that otherization which kind of reinforces that you're not really
from
like,
well,
like the side of you that's not from here.
Completely. It's like I'm the same. Like I'm mixed race, half Scottish, half Filipino, and like living here, I grew up in a very Western community, and kind of like, you know, and I kind of see myself as part of it, and then kind of like it kind of puts you off balance a little bit. Yeah, because it's kind of like, there is that something about me that you've noticed, and it's kind of like a bit. I don't know. You're not kind of. I guess, of course, it's a physical thing you notice, but it's like you're not. I'm not being included in a way. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's no. I'd agree. I think it's just something that people of color have to that they face. I'm not saying it's fair, but like I think it's something people face, and it's something you just kind of know how. I don't know. I personally feel like you sort of internalize coping with it in a way. Like that's not to suggest that it's like it's totally okay to that comment, you know, fetishizing people of color is okay, but it's just something that when it's directed at me, I feel like I don't have much. I do have a problem with it, but I'm not offended by it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you're not offended by it, but you do have. There's a problem there.
Yeah,
that needs to be addressed. And I think it's like. I think it's generally this thing that just to kind of like accept people for the way they look, I guess, and like just be like, look, you are a person, you're British. So stop pointing out the obvious. And it's like we all know, like we don't need it to be like shoved in our faces all the time, especially in a romantic interest, because that's like an instant like turn off for me when someone says that.
Yeah.
Okay, so leading to this, the last thing we're going to talk about. Someone says something. It's where are you from? Where are you from?
Yeah. Where am I from?
Yeah. Where are you from, though?
Where am I from? Yeah. I grew up in Edinburgh to Indian mother, and
you had to say that. You had to say Indian mother.
Oh yeah. No, of course, yeah. I mean,
I said Filipino mother back there as well. So I mean, like you kind of justifying.
Yeah. Because people are so polite here that like you never really. And I don't know if I have a preference of people asking outright or people asking in a roundabout way, like I think a lot of people in the UK do, which is through the words "Where are you from?" And I don't know. I think I've definitely sort of personally sort of built up a response, which is answering both, and one that I've sort of almost like I personally feel like I've reclaimed into not feeling ashamed in any way about where, you know, what my upbringing is. And I think that's why I answered sort of almost like double barrel.
Well, what do you mean you reclaimed it? Like, what do you have to reclaim it from?
From reclaim from the power structure that people of colour are lower than white people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Is that maybe a topic for another video?
Yeah.
But I think this power structure that is the context in which all of these questions exist in.
Okay.
So I think.
And how do you fit it into kind of like, let's say, like the gay community, and like especially, I mean, living in Glasgow as we do, like kind of like being a guy of colour, and kind of all these questions that we talked about. How has it kind of like affected you that way?
Yeah, I mean, don't know. You just sort of gotta. I don't know. You've just got to sort of not take it. I don't know. I try not to take it personally. As I said, like I feel like it's a wider issue. Like not people's specifically individual. Like direct prejudices. It's like learned behaviour. And it's not to say that behaviour can't be unlearned, but it's like it's not something people have specifically decided. Like this is my view. It's something it's like these are views that come underneath, and that